after testing this product for over a month, today we will finally be reviewing the 4-Gauge pre-workout. And as always, if you'd like to check out the full blog post, head over to Google and search FeastGood plus 4-Gauge pre-workout. There you'll find the full article along with a way to save some money if you decide to purchase. 4-Gauge markets itself as an explosive pre-workout, and the design of the container to mimic a shotgun shell gives the outward appearance that this is an intense, hardcore pre-workout. In reality, it's actually a relatively mild formula when compared to others on the market, and it would make a great option for someone who is either new to taking pre-workout or who prioritizes natural ingredients. The ingredients in 4-Gauge focus on long-lasting and mood-boosting energy, making this an appealing option for cardio and HIIT style workouts. Personally speaking, 4-Gauge doesn't actually offer a lot in the way of supporting strength, power, and hypertrophy. While you will get a performance boost from the energizing ingredients, it's not the ideal formula if your goal is to push substantially heavier weights in the gym over time. I found that this pre-workout gave me a caffeine push, but wasn't sufficient for maxing out bench press or squats, and I need a bit more out of it to really crush my goals. Let's now talk about my experiences while taking 4-Gauge. I was very excited to try 4-Gauge because of the fact it looked so cool on the shelf, and I've never taken something like this before. Secondly, I thought that the formula, which included the red beetroot, coconut water, rhodiola, sounded like a great combination of clean, jittery-free energy. However, I wasn't overwhelmed by 4-Gauge, but I wasn't necessarily disappointed either. This one ultimately falls right in the middle for me. I don't think I'll rebuy it, but I don't think I'll be in a rush to use it up either. Also, when I walked away from a workout, I had mixed feelings, like I had more in the tank to give, more energy to give, but I wasn't in the mood enough to keep going. I just felt like the pre-workout itself lacked a few ingredients or a few things that I really look forward in a pre-workout. Now, bear in mind, I have taken many different pre-workouts ranging from high cost to low cost to heavy stims to no stims, and I feel like this one just may not be adequate enough for me. However, this may be perfect for you if you're someone new into the gym or don't take any pre-workout for that matter, or maybe much of it at all. I'm also a huge pump guy, so I tend to gravitate to the heavier nitric oxide pre-workouts. How hard it was to actually try to get the scooper out of this thing. Now, since the container is a long cylinder kind of looking format, the scoop has to go completely vertically in. This makes it impossible to scoop your product out without losing some of your pre-workouts on the counter or wherever you're opening it up. I felt really good on this pre-workout with no negative side effects like a crash or jitteriness. Let's now get into a few things I liked and a few things I did not like about 4-Gauge, starting with 3 things that I did like. First off, natural ingredients. 4-Gauge doesn't use any artificial flavors, colors, or sweeteners in its formula. It also focuses on highly herbal natural ingredients like red beet powder, coconut water, and rhodiola root powder. Second thing I enjoyed, reasonable caffeine level. At 150 milligrams per serving, equal to roughly 2 small cups of coffee, 4-Gauge falls well below the FDA's recommendation of staying at or below 500 milligrams daily. This decreases the likelihood of experiencing negative side effects and is also nice for individuals who want to consume other sources of caffeine in their day, like coffee, tea, or energy drinks, since we all love some freedom to safely integrate those. And thirdly, I liked how it had a great endurance and hydration blend. The combination of citrulline and red beet powder both boost nitric oxide production to improve blood flow and endurance and enhance recovery. Acetyl L-carnitine, caffeine, and theanine, and the rhodiola all work together to provide energy and mental focus while eliminating the common side effects of caffeine like jitteriness and anxiety like I mentioned. The overall result is a long-lasting, mood-boosting energy and great mental focus. And on the other hand, the one thing I did not like about it, its taste. Unfortunately, it's difficult to mask the taste of beetroot powder in any product, especially if the beetroot powder is in a clinically effective dose. Despite their best efforts at creating a fruit punch flavor, the taste of beets is overpowering. Now let's get into how 4-Gauge stacks up against the rest of the products we have tried on the channel. We've given it a 3.75 out of 5 on price. If you are looking for a good energy boost and endurance without a crash or jitteriness, then 4-Gauge does provide a good value at only $1.50 per serving. Even less if you choose any of 4-Gauge's bulk order 2 subscription options. We've given it a 2 out of 5 on taste. Like I mentioned, 4-Gauge contains a high dose of beetroot powder, which in my opinion overpowers the fruit punch taste of this product. We've given it a 5 out of 5 on mixability. It dissolves easily into water and leaves little to no undissolved particles at the bottom. It becomes quite foamy immediately, like I'll show you right here after shaking it, but the foam dissolves very quickly. We've given it a 4 out of 5 5 on energy. Though relatively low in total caffeine, 4-gauge gives good energy and mental focus. The addition of acetyl L-carnitine provides additional mental focus. The combination of the L-theanine and the rhodiola promotes calmness and reduces anxiety and jitteriness. We've given it a 2.5 out of 5 on pump. Both citrulline and beetroot powder increase nitric oxide production and should theoretically provide a good pump. I felt like the pump with this product was less noticeable than other pre-workouts I've tried in the past. And in regards to strength, we've given it a 2 out of 5. Despite the addition of creatine, an ingredient popular for increasing strength, the dosage falls a bit short and the overall strength boosting benefit from 4-gauge wasn't noticeable. Now let's get into the ingredients. On the left-hand side are the ingredients, next to that are the dosages, next to that are the clinical effective dosages, and then finally checked or unchecked boxes if the pre-workout meets those standards. As you can see from the chart, citrulline malate, L-carnitine, L-theanine, and rhodiola all meet clinical standards. Unfortunately, the other 4 either fall short or we aren't able to establish an effective dose. Let's now get into who I recommend taking 4-gauge and some people I recommend not take 4-gauge. 4-gauge is a great option for people who are new to taking pre-workout and want something less intense, have a lot of cardiovascular, HIIT, or endurance components to their training, prioritize natural ingredients and want to avoid artificial flavors and colors, and lastly, people who don't like the tingly feeling that sometimes get from pre-workouts. On the other hand, I would pass on 4-gauge if you can't stomach the taste of beets, you are looking for a high stim formula, or lastly, increasing strength and muscle mass is your #1 goal. I've done a lot of research on how to get the best price for 4-gauge, and any links to that will also be down below. I try to keep the description box up to date with the most current offers and sales to the best places to find these products. See you all in the next video, and please comment down below if you have any questions in regards to today's video. Peace.